Hi, this is Kim Reads Urantia. Good to be here today on this got a snowy Friday here, and I'm going to read to you the Urantia book. Yeah. I'm enjoying some chocolate chip cookies. We made chocolate chip cookies yesterday, so I've been indulging. I think I'm going to have to give up something for Lent. I'll probably give up sweets. I should give up sweets. And coffee, because to me, sweets and coffee go together. Sweets and coffee. That doesn't mean I have to give up caffeine, because pop is something else. But you know what? I don't usually drink caffeinated pop anymore. I used to. But anyway, I think that's enough about my lifestyle choices. Anyway, we're going to read from "365 Days of Walking the Red Road" by Terry Jean. Okay, today's January 14th, and we got some interesting things here today. The first quote is by Wahun Sinakal, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was Powhatan from Virginia area. He was the father of Pocahontas, and he lived from, here again, I've got discrepancy here. Terry Jean has got, he lived from 1547 to 1622, and looks like, what is this, Wikipedia, I suppose, or Britannica. Died in 1618. Okay, well, this isn't unusual, he approved of his daughter marrying a man named John Rolfe, which is different. You get your Johns confused. If you watch the Disney version of Pocahontas, is totally fallacious. In way of making peace. So he married his daughter to a white guy. All right. Okay, so he says, "Why do you take by force what you could obtain by love?" Early in the early 1600s, when their first started coming, the white people first started coming, he's one of the first ones to recognize it's like, what, you have to dominate everything. What's wrong with you white people? You could just ask for some food, we'd give it to you. We could just, yeah. But you feel like you got to be in control of everything. That's this twisted thing. Really good cookies. People have. In order to be secure, you can't just, you have to control the whole thing. And back in our history, why, in the history of the white people, what made it like that? Urantia book has interesting explanations for that go back to racism. One interesting sociological explanation is just that is that people lived closer together in Europe. They lived closer together, and they had to develop more means of survival. That one is the one that I like to subscribe to. That I think that factored a lot. Yeah. So this interplay between the people who have power and those don't have power goes really back deep in our history to really understand the roots of that, and why indigenous societies were largely just exempt. They were blessedly exempt from that kind of dynamic. It's fascinating. Okay. Also, on this date in Native American history, January 14th, 1833, Reverend Samuel Worchester was released from a Georgia prison after serving 4 years of hard labor for speaking out against the mistreatment of Cherokee Indians. A reverend, a white guy, white reverend, imprisoned for 4 years for speaking out. Okay, this is important. Yeah, this is a white guy. Preached the Bible to the Cherokee. Okay. Now, that did hard time for doing the right thing by Native people. Now, if you're a Native person and you think, the words of white people here probably shouldn't have a place in a book like this, okay, then I excuse me. Then yeah, I don't blame people for feeling that way. I think that's natural to feel that way because white people have done a lot genocide, no less, against indigenous people. But if you're build those walls if you have to do it to feel safe. But that's not a solution to the overreaching problem, is that we have to live together. And I don't have any Native blood, but I support Natives in all your endeavors, and I just really hope that we can all build together. I don't blame people. If you gotta keep me or Terry Jean, who's a white woman, out of your world in order to feel safe, then do that. When you feel safe enough, you can come out and we can build together, build a new life together. That's what I want. And I believe that day that will come. And but I want Native people to feel safe, and that's hard. So, okay, thank you, Ahun Sinakuk. for trusting, and his daughter, and she went to Europe and she died of disease. But those efforts at peace were not in vain, and neither were Samuel Worchester's. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's remember them today and honor them today. Okay. The Red Road, lesson 1. We have something from the Incas. Okay. I'm going to read through this here. Originally, the term the Red Road or the Good Red Road was used by the Plains people to signify one's righteous relationship with their divinity. When one walks the Red Road, one is living within the rules of the Creator, living a life of truth, friendship, respect, spirituality, and humanitarianism. Today, the phrase is shared by numerous people all over the world. Creator of the world, maker of all men, Lord of lords, my eyes fail me, for the sole desire is to know thee. And that's from the Incas. Creator of the world, maker of all men, Lord of lords, my eyes fail me, for the sole desire is to know thee. To know thee, to know God and to walk with God, to be in God's presence. But I see how it just doesn't make sense that, how could God, it seems like God is favoring these horrible people and allowing them to just conquer and destroy everything that's good. I feel that, how could that be? And it's if you see that, you're only looking at a small piece of the picture. You're not seeing what's becoming, what's emerging from these lessons, from great lessons in humility, great creativity, and great wisdom emerges. Okay, so when we're safe, when we feel safe to allow that to emerge, that will come naturally, and we'll see that none of this suffering that's been endured has been in vain. None of it. It's all part of a greater picture. This is a great, great thing. I don't know the answers. I don't know what's going to come of it. That's all I know is that this can't be in vain. And the more I reassert that to myself, that's my faith in Creator. That Creator would not allow something like this to happen if there wasn't some miracles emerging from this, even all of this suffer, all of this pain, genocide and the rape of the land, everything. These are all just physical things after all. Physical world, even though it's so beautiful, it's so fragile, it has only the barest part of existence. That's hard to understand because physical things are all we see, all we feel, all that we, we start to perceive that there's so much more to life than the physical realm. You see where so much more is possible. There's so much more potentialities that are being enacted through these losses that are based in the physical realm. And when we can let that go, we can heal, and we can make better things come. Okay. Thank you, Samuel Worchester. Thank you, Wahun Sanakuk. Wahun Sanakuk. And your beautiful daughter, Pocahontas. Thank you for the history and the lessons they gave us. Okay. I'm going to move on from there. And let's all walk on the red road together. Let's come together. Let's learn to cooperate. Okay, so Urantia book. We are on section 4. Gabriel, the chief executive of paper 33. So we're talking about the administration of the local universe. Okay. The bright and morning star is the personalization of the first concept of identity and ideal of personality conceived by the Creator Sun and the local universe manifestation of the infinite spirit. Going back to the early days of the local universe, before the union of the Creator Sun and the Mother Spirit in the bonds of creative association, back to the times before the beginning of the creation of their versatile family of sons and daughters, the first conjoint act of this early and free association of these two divine persons results in the creation of the highest spirit personality of the Sun and the Spirit, the bright and morning star. Only one such being of wisdom and majesty is brought forth in each local universe. The Universal Father and the Eternal Son can, in fact, do create an unlimited number of sons and divinity equal to themselves. Wow. But such sons, in union with the daughters of the infinite spirit, can create only one bright and morning star in each universe, a being like themselves and partaking freely of their combined natures, but not of their creative prerogatives. Gabriel of Salvington is like the universe sun in divinity of nature, though considerably limited in the attributes of deity. Okay. So the Father and the Son create sons and that are equal to themselves. So the Creator Sons, like Jesus, is equal in the status of divinity to the Father, the Universal Father, and the Eternal Son. So he is just as divine, just as infallible, I guess, as because I was talking before about how, what if a Creator Son would rebel against, then you'd have this whole dark universe. But here I'm seeing that that's not possible, because the divinity of the Son, of the Creator Sons, is equal to the divinity of the Father and the Son, which is wonderful. Okay, so that's comforting there. And but when the Son creates, he can't. So these okay, so the eternal Father and the eternal Son and universal Father create unlimited beings that are equal in divinity status, but each one of those can reproduce, create only one bright and morning star. So they create beings like us, but the beings that they create are not equal in divine status, or like we are potentially divine, potentially spiritual, potentially divine beings, but we're not there yet. So that we have this potential. Okay, but Gabriel is a divine being, totally born divine being, but isn't able to create more divine beings. If that makes sense, okay? Okay, this firstborn of the parents of a new universe is a unique personality possessing many wonderful traits not visibly present in either ancestor, a being of unprecedented versatility and unimagined brilliance. This supernal personality embraces the divine will of the Son, combined with the creative imagination of the Spirit. The thoughts and acts of the bright and morning star will ever be fully representative of both the Creator Son and the Creative Spirit. Such a being is also capable of a broad understanding of and sympathetic contact with both the spiritual seraphic hosts and the material evolutionary will creatures. The bright and morning star is not a creator. Okay, there you go. He is a marvelous administrator, but he is a marvelous administrator, being the personal administrative representative of the Creator Son. Aside from creation and life impartation, the Son and the Spirit never confer upon important universe procedures without Gabriel's presence. Okay. Okay. Aside from creation and life impartation. So the life carriers and such like that. He doesn't really have to do with that. Okay. Gabriel of Salvington is the chief executive of the universe of Nebadon and the arbiter of all executive appeals respecting its administration. This universe executive was created fully endowed for his work, but he has gained experience with the growth and evolution of our local creation. Okay, so he's already created perfect, but we can improve on that. That's what's always blows me away when they say that. We can improve on perfection with experience. And that's just wonderful. That's just so you're already perfect, but you can improve on that, right? Okay. Gabriel is the chief officer of execution for superuniverse mandates relating to non-personal affairs in the local universe. Most matters pertaining to mass judgment and dispensational resurrections adjudicated by the Ancients of Days are also delegated to Gabriel and his staff for execution. Gabriel is thus the combined chief executive, both the super and local universe rulers. Okay, hold on a sec. Most matters pertaining to mass judgment and dispensational resurrections adjudicated by the Ancients of Days are also delegated to Gabriel and his staff for execution. Okay. Gabriel is thus combined chief executive of both the super and local universe rulers. Okay, so if the super, but he doesn't go outside of his own local universe. But if the Ancients of Days are commanding, this such and such a thing in your local universe, okay, so I'm going to carry that out, right? And then also if Jesus commands something, then you carry that out right too. Okay. Gabriel is Thus, the combined chief, he has at his command an able corps of administrative assistants created for their special work, who are unrevealed to evolutionary mortals. In addition to these assistants, Gabriel may employ any and all of the orders of celestial beings functioning in Nebadon, and he is also the commander-in-chief of the armies of heaven, the celestial hosts. He's the commander of all the angels in Nebadon. Gabriel and his staff are not teachers, they are administrators. They were never known to depart from their regular work except when Michael was incarnated on a creature bestowal. During such bestowals, Gabriel was never attendant on the will of the incarnated Son. He was ever attendant. During such bestowals, Gabriel was ever attendant on the will of the incarnated Son. And with the collaboration of the Union of Days, who is Emmanuel, right? He became the actual director of universe affairs during the later bestowals. Gabriel has been closely identified with the history and development of Urantia ever since the mortal bestowal of Michael. Wonderful. Okay. Aside from meeting Gabriel on the bestowal worlds and at the times of general and special resurrection roll calls, mortals will seldom encounter him as they ascend through the local universe until they are inducted into the administrative work of the local creation. As administrators of whatever order or degree, you will come under the direction of Gabriel. Okay, that will be awesome. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.